My husband left me for my best friend, and now she's shocked I won't support her through her cancer diagnosis. My ex Wyatt left me for Violet 18 months ago. Violet had been my best friend for 12 years. When my marriage started breaking down, she was the first person I called. She came over with wine, sat with me while I cried about Wyatt growing distant, and gave advice like telling me to be more spontaneous or surprise him at work with lunch. I trusted her completely. I told her everything. I even shared my marriage counselor notes so she could help me fix things. She didn't use them to help me. She used them to study me and understand every weakness I had. The day I found out, Violet showed up at my door with Wyatt to explain everything. While I stood there trying to process what I was hearing, she said she knew it was painful but believed I would understand because she knew me better than anyone. Then she said she had years of my fears, insecurities, and trauma stored in her mind, so she would be the perfect stepmom for my kids. Wyatt stood there nodding like it made sense. When he added that Violet had been taking notes on our conversations for months to understand our family, I realized how disturbing it really was. It felt planned, not accidental. I got the house in primary custody. Wyatt got her in weekends. It was manageable at first, until they got married 4 months later. Violet sent me a wedding invitation with a note saying I would always be her maid of honor in spirit. I was so stunned I framed it and hung it in my bathroom as a reminder of how far people can go when they lack any shame. After the wedding, she kept trying to force a friendship. She sent birthday cards saying she missed me, texts with old photos, and showed up early to exchanges trying to talk like nothing had changed. She acted like time would erase what she did. She even left a Christmas gift on my porch calling me her sister. I gave it away unopened without a second thought. Wyatt kept saying I was being petty and that she was trying to fix things. I told him I didn't want anything fixed. I wanted distance and peace. At school events, she would walk over and talk about her life like we were still close. She would smile and start conversations like nothing happened. I would stare at her until she walked away. She would complain to Wyatt, and he would send me long messages saying I was making things awkward for the kids. Then 3 weeks ago, Wyatt called and said Violet needed to talk to me about something serious. I told him if it wasn't about the kids, I wasn't interested. He said it was bigger. I hung up. The next day at pickup, they both got out of the car. Violet looked drained, like she had been crying for days, wearing a headscarf. Wyatt held her like she might collapse. They stopped in front of me, and Violet said quietly she had stage 3 cancer. They both stood there waiting for my reaction like they expected sympathy. She said she needed me, that I was the only one who understood her because I had supported her when her mother was sick. I looked at her for a moment, then turned to Wyatt and reminded him the kids had school projects due. Violet broke down crying and called me cold and heartless. She said she had been there for me through everything. My loss, my grief, my struggles. Wyatt said I was being cruel and that she needed support while fighting for her life. I looked at her and told her she had only been there to gather information for her affair. I said she was not my friend and nothing had changed that. Wyatt called me a monster. That night everyone started calling. Friends said illness changes perspective. Her sister called me heartless. Even my own mother said I should be the bigger person. People kept repeating she has cancer like it erased everything she did. But I remembered her sitting in my house taking notes while I cried. I remembered her suggesting trips so she could spend time alone with my husband. I remembered her promising to always be there while she was tearing my life apart piece by piece. The woman who used my trust to take my marriage does not get my support now.